Over the last 2 decades helping couples with their relationship difficulties, 5 elements of interpersonal relationality have stood out as the missing ingredients where couples are not getting along or are at the brink of breaking up. I'm Dee Tozer, a couples coach psychologist for many years. Over the years, I've come to see these 5 elements as critical to a harmonious, thriving relationship. Hence, my coaching and counselling has centred on how couples can rescue their relationship by activating these 5 elements. They are goodwill, camaraderie, comfort, warmth, and intentionality. All 5 are represented by the points of a diamond, which is how this method was named the diamond method. My starting point is goodwill because by the time a couple reaches out for help, there is typically minimal, perhaps zero goodwill between them. The term goodwill encapsulates cooperation and considerateness between 2 people. It makes sense that at the most basic level, without goodwill, if we're not cooperating with our partner or being considerate about his or her feelings and emotions, then it's a fast, slippery slide to hurt and disconnection and alienation, with blame and criticism being fired at each other. Hence, neither partner feels cared about, feels heard, and an icy distance has become the norm. The first step to warming up and closing this distance is to step into a state of goodwill and feel the coolness slide away, which then brings me to the second diamond point, which is camaraderie. This term has been used frequently in the military zones and defence forces, describing the friendship and trust amongst soldiers in war zones, where the close bonds arise as each person has each other's back during conflict. They're on the same side or team and they rely on each other for protection and support as they go through harrowing times together. I like to use this with couples because couples who do well together work as a team, looking after each other's best interests with high trust and protection between them. Differences of opinion and disagreements still arise. However, a couple with strong camaraderie listen to each other's opinion. They validate each other and respect the other partner's viewpoint. With the cooperation and considerateness from goodwill, plus trust and protection from camaraderie, couples are in a strong place to feel emotionally secure, from where the next 2 elements can take hold, grow and flourish, and they are warmth and comfort. The third diamond point is warmth. Because we have a human need to be surrounded by warmth, both in climate, temperature and body temperature for sure, but equally important in human touch and in acceptance, also emotional connection, we often hear people say it made them feel warm and fuzzy. Couples in trouble have lost that warm and fuzzy feeling, well and truly, and hence it stands alone as its own diamond point to be restored. So it goes that we're not comfortable without warmth, and comfort is imperative for a relationship to thrive. Most couples initially connected and became close or fell in love because the attraction created warmth and comfort. More about this later on in this video. Comfort is a standalone 4th diamond point. There is the expression you may be familiar with, old shoe comfort, which is often used when a couple hits it off really well at the beginning when they first get together, where they can relax and just be themselves with someone else, without threat of criticism or belittling put-downs. It's what we all want in a love relationship. However, this is where things start to go wrong. The first stages of couples' troubles typically show up as one or both partners feeling great discomfort due to feeling like they don't matter, being on the receiving end of ongoing criticism or put-downs or blame, and comfort disappears. This leads to warmth disappearing because our natural self-protection is to put up a defensive barrier and pull back into cool distance or otherwise attack. So heading back up the scale to point 2 then, camaraderie disappears, followed by goodwill disappearing, and we have relationship breakdown, close to break up by the time they seek help, often have broken up, but still have deep feelings for each other and want to find a better way to heal the rift and the past damage. Which brings me to point 5 on the diamond, and that's intentionality, which means deliberate intent. Even though this is the last of the 5 diamond points, this is the key number 1 point to rescuing your relationship and restoring harmony. I often say the power of deliberate intent is amazing in all areas of life, and it's both common and uncommon in relationships. Common at the beginning of a relationship and uncommon after 18 months or so together. So now I take us back to the beginning of relationships, when we first get together with a new love. If we are really hooked on that guy or that girl, we are typically very intentional about putting on our best face, showing the sides of us which put us in the best light. Girls will watch the guy's sport, listen to his heavy music. Guys will go to chick flicks and help a lot around the house. If we've fallen in love, then we don't want to be rejected. We are very intentional about what we say and what we don't say, what we do and what we don't do. I often hear couples say they never argued in the beginning, that they cooperated and were agreeable in the early months together. And when I ask them if they can remember thinking they would be together forever, they typically say yes. Well, that was before they decided they preferred their own opinion and that none of what went wrong in their relationship was their fault, which happened once they felt very secure with their partner and their own strong opinions started to play a big part between them. So what happens to intentionality as time goes by? Well, it gets swallowed up by reactive emotionality, which dominates and destroys affection, comfort and warmth. Also, camaraderie and goodwill are destroyed. The answer is to replace this with relationship intentionality. What do you want at the end of the day? Find out, focus on that, and aim for it intentionally. Do you remember being intentional in the early months of your relationship? We're all familiar with flirtatious glances and alluring body language, and you might be thinking, well, that was instinctive. I don't recall it being intentional, and there is some truth in that. However, intentionality played a large part, and always does, in how we operated as we became more and more attached, more connected to our big love. When I highlight intentionality as the way out of the miserable conflict or cool distance, it's a big aha moment for most couples. They will often soften in their tone to each other immediately, even turn towards each other in my room. And because the focus is not on any personal fault, the blame game is stopped as they start focusing on how intentionality works. I liken it to driving a car, when you make decisions to go this way or that way. Sometimes we may drive aimlessly for a while if we don't have a destination or outcome in mind and maybe have some spare time, but in the main we drive intentionally from point A to point B. Either way, you're in control of the car when you're driving. Relationships are similar. You are also in control, not of your partner, but in control of yourself, of what you say and what you don't say, what you do and what you don't do. The only person you can control is yourself. Yet so much relationship pain arises from one partner trying to control the other. Hence, in summary, there's a handout below the video explaining the diamond method. It's crucial for couples in trouble to have this close by as they intentionally rebuild their connection from goodwill upwards, adding camaraderie, warmth and comfort as you go. Yes, you can experience good times again as you become more and more intentional. Wishing you every success. Dee Tozer, signing off for now.